So 2023 is done in what, 2 days?
I hope so.
Is this the 29th?
I think,
That we're recording this?
Yeah.
So yeah, like 2 more days. 3 days, I guess. As far as like on the home front personally, it hasn't been a great year.
No.
Been a lot of bad stuff.
So much bad.
A lot of bad. Any good?
Yeah, I mean, I lived. That was a big deal. Was pretty sure I was gonna die there for a while.
Would recommend, 10 of 10 recommend living.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most days.
For sure. But in doing that this year, it really highlighted a lot of stuff that is actually the biggest news stories of the last year. So starting off with like the heart thing, there's all these articles constantly, and we've talked about it before a little bit, hit on some things, mostly as it pertains to you, but there's been high-profile athletes, professional athletes in sports. You have teachers, military servicemen, nurses, like dropping dead or having heart attacks or having issues that have come up that they had no pre-existing conditions for. And it points hugely to the vaccine, which now all the news agencies are putting out that over 50% of people that had pushed for it and said, we need to have it, our family needs this, are now not renewing that again for this next year.
Yeah, even the SIDS rate increased, like doubled or tripled or something like that in the last 2 years. So little babies are dying because their moms got vaccinated when they were pregnant. And then there's not even athletes, but just little kids, in junior high and younger at PE dying of heart attacks. And then I don't know who it was, the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, whoever I sent you, one of the military branches showed... It was
a Navy thing.
Right. So they showed a huge increase in all sorts of heart-related deaths. And obviously they all had to be vaccinated.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. So here's my thing for everybody that's watching, listening to this, and for us, at what point is it socially acceptable to like point people in the face and be like, I told you. Like because the issue is not, for me, it's not like, I don't feel like I should tell someone what to do.
Right. But they sure told us what to do.
Right.
And like we were definitely chastised for not getting the vaccine, for not agreeing with the mask mandates, all that stuff. I guess even prior to that, the election was so dividing, and you were either Joe Biden or Trump. And then we have the vaccine come in, and you're either a vaccine or not.
Yep.
And it just seems like that cause, obviously, probably planned by the government. Like, there is a reason, So now we're even a more divided country. We look like idiots. Every other country thinks we're dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I have no problem telling somebody, how do you feel about that now? Thanks for pushing that. Glad I didn't get it, Well,
what's weird is you say that like that's a casual conversation to somebody you just know or work with or whatever.
Yeah.
But people are having to do that with family members.
I mean, I told my family not to get it. Like, my sister vaccinated her kids, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm really concerned for her kids. We don't know what it's going to cause down the line. She's got 2 girls and a boy, and I'm hoping there are no long-term issues. I mean, we don't know what it's going to do to fertility. We don't know what it's going to do to them as they grow, if it's going to change their hormone. We don't know.
Yeah. It's a really weird thing to mess around with people's long-term health, especially now that all these things have come out where, like, even in, like, RFK's book about Fauci, the real Dr. Fauci, all that stuff, going through all that stuff and looking at it, I mean, there's just straight-up emails saying, yeah, this isn't going to work, but we got to push it.
Yeah.
We got to do this. And he said in an interview that when they said, do you feel like the vaccine mandate and everything was a little not a success? And he said, this is not something that someone heard him say and wrote down. This is an audio video interview. And he said, I'm paraphrasing, that essentially, well, this was a good exercise to show that the goal in this was to get people to just put down their dumb ideological beliefs and just get vaccinated. So basically saying that the way the government did everything to push people and regulate and mandate was just so that you could get people all on board to understand, hey, at the end of the day, if we push enough and make people uncomfortable enough, they won't stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
Really scary stuff.
I mean, the whole thing, like with the vaccination cards, come on. What does that remind you of? I mean, even when all that was going on, even my company at the time was like, okay, you can, at your own will, at your own discretion, let us know if you've been vaccinated. If you do, you get extra days off, which sucked.
Yeah.
And then they were trying, at one point, this was when we were still working at the office. So at one point it was discussed, or we were at home. So it was discussed, we're going to go back to the office. And at the time you had to wear a mask the full time, which was ridiculous. But they were discussing, if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. So then how are we differentiating who is allowed to do that and who's not?
Right.
So then it was, okay, well, let's change their badge so we can tell, because we have to wear little ID badges to badge in and out of the office.
So it's basically like you're either you're in it or you're the undesirables.
I mean, I didn't get any extra vacation.
Yeah.
And I work harder than probably half the people there who were vaccinated. So, and also I have I can stand up for myself. And if I don't agree with, I was considering quitting my job if that was made, you have to be vaccinated. I will quit. I'm not going to put myself at risk and my family at risk. Thank God I didn't. Imagine.
Oof. Well, I mean, you had multiple doctors, not just doctor, general practitioner, I'm a PA kind of thing, but surgeons say, I'm so glad you didn't get this because you might not have lived through this heart issue. Yeah. Because that would have compounded everything else.
It's crazy that all the shit we lived through, like our age, we've lived through a lot of crazy shit.
Really have. And you even brought it up, like the divisiveness that election, vaccine, and now like language and am I pro-Israel or am I pro-Hamas or am I pro-Ukraine? Am I, is it just a money laundering scheme? Whatever. That's actually listed on the top 25 stories for the news, is how divided the country is, how much civil unrest there is.
I mean, there's probably a reason for this.
Yeah.
Are we headed towards another civil war?
Ugh.
I mean, potentially, though.
I mean, at least we're in the gun-toting part of
thank God we live in Texas. I cannot leave. We are stuck here.
Man, I don't know, it's just weird. I think for me, as someone that like really, really pushes self-defense and awareness and everything else, I think it's such a huge thing for people nowadays just to be paying attention, because we live in a time, people like to say, like, we live in a really violent, dangerous time. I mean, we don't have Genghis Khan storming across the plains, destroying villages or anything. It's not anything like that. I think it's just, maybe if you lived further back, that kind of activity would be predictable, expected.
Or it just wasn't talked about. We don't have the internet, so it's not like,
for sure.
Or phones. So when somebody does something that's a violent act, regardless of what it is, whether it be a shooting, everybody knows immediately. Back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, it was going on.
You just didn't hear about it.
You just didn't hear about it.
And a lot of people didn't talk about it either.
Like, yeah, that was the other thing. They didn't have an
outlet, but they wouldn't say anything.
Like, look at how, in the generations, our kids know to talk to us about everything.
Yeah.
Like, we're very open. There was a time not that long ago that we weren't allowed to talk about stuff. You keep things secret. You don't talk about shit that goes on in the family. So you don't think that's not going on with everything.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was way more hush-hush back in the day.
I think now I think there's just this, I think that the good side about that is people are talking more. People are showing violent acts or whatever. That there's video cameras everywhere. People have their phone everywhere. So you get to see it. But I think that normalizing of it almost makes it where now people look at like, well, that's what I have to do to get attention.
It's desensitizing. I mean, you watch stuff that bothers me. Like, you'll watch the Instagram on like police videos and stuff like that, and I can't watch it. It bothers me a lot. But I think it's entertainment for a lot of people, which is sad.
Yeah.
But that's who we're dealing with. Like, that's who is walking next to you down the street, is the guy who's literally watching those videos because it gives him like a high. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I want to beat the shit out of somebody like that.
And then he sucker punches some lady.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, it happens.
That's true life. But again, things were going on, maybe even worse. I mean, there was some bad stuff that went on. And when we're talking about segregation, when we stopped segregating, think of all the violent acts that happened.
Yeah, just but if it wasn't in your local paper.
Yeah, you didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know. If it wasn't on one of those 2 channels.
Right. It's crazy. Like I was just watching yesterday on Netflix, a documentary on the Challenger camp in Salt Lake or out in Utah in the 80s, you know, because kids were starting to be rebellious. Kids were rebellious in every generation ever. I mean, let's talk about
Tom Sawyer. What the?
I mean, even like women wearing pants. You know, going to see Elvis was a sign of was an act of rebellion.
Yeah.
If you listened to Kiss, you were satanic. Like this is nothing new.
Yeah.
But in the 80s, you know, now we're taking it to the next level. They were talking about how it was Nancy Reagan who came out with the no drug campaign.
Just say no. Yeah.
Okay.
Nancy
Anyway.
Reagan. While they were funding the Contras.
Right.
Bringing cocaine in the United States.
Yeah. So that's lovely. I love the hypocrisy. Anyway, it's just interesting that, you know, parents were sending their kids not knowing anything about anything to go hike through the Utah desert, not be fed. They're emaciated. They're getting beaten. That one was sexually assaulted. It's crazy because you didn't hear about that.
No.
I mean, until it became on the news, I think when there was a little girl, a teenage, 13, maybe she was 16, who died. She had a heat stroke. And then it got public news. But now people are coming out about it. Like I was a kid who went to this camp. And it took Paris Hilton coming out because she was sent to something similar. And now it's like, okay, we are able to talk about it.
Yeah.
But also there was a lot of backlash. I mean, it was a parent and a dad and a son talking about it. And the dad, even though his son was abused and not fed and literally hogtied and left out in the elements, said, yeah, I would have left you there the whole time if I had known you were going to come back and go back to your old ways. And the son's face was like, I mean, I felt so bad for him.
Oof.
Like, there was they claimed it was therapy. There was no therapy in it. We're just abusing you, essentially.
There's this, I don't know. With all the access to stuff, social media, if you have Instagram or TikTok, you can see everything that's going on all over the world all the time at the click of a button. I would argue it's good because you are very well informed nowadays. Because
kind of.
we would not know about all these like vaccine issues if people weren't immediately able to jump on Facebook and say, hey, I got the vaccine and 3 weeks later I had a heart attack. You know, or the day after my dad died, he was fine before it. He didn't have COVID or anything, you know, all those different things. It shows you, for me, like, again, teaching self-defense and stuff, when you go, guys, you can be walking down the street and someone can just punch your wife in the face. Are you going to let that happen? Are you just going to sit there and watch it? And people be like, no, I would never do that. No guy would do that. Like, well, I have hours and hours of video proof of each one lasting only 10 seconds. And I have hours of proof that most guys aren't going to do anything. Most husbands are not going to, they're not going to do anything because they're just I can't believe this happened. Well, we have proof that this not only can happen, it does happen all the time. So if you're not ready, then you're going to be the guy going, it's like a movie, you know?
Yeah.
But the same token, having all that stuff going all the time, it gives people that are entertained by it now, I feel like, kind of inspires them. Like, well, I want to be on a video.
I'm going to go do it better than the last guy. But also,
it's like the knockout game.
Oh, yeah. But half of this isn't even, like, I don't watch the news because none of the news channels report real things. It's all geared towards one side. You're not getting the true story. I mean, we clearly saw that with the whole vaccination situation and the shutdown, you know? So really, what we're getting is not necessarily real or in some cases helpful.
I think if you would ask 18-year-old versions of us, I think if you asked us, you know, hey, where do you get your news or what news source do you trust? Or we'd be like, Fox News, CNN, ABC News, NBC, whatever.
I don't trust any of them now.
You know, we would say that.
I
was like, I have Midland Report Telegram. I get delivered at the house every day, whatever. Yeah. And now I'm pretty sure both of us would be like Joe Rogan, Andrew Huberman.
Yeah.
You know, like things like that. It's, you know, Lex Friedman. it's so weird that people that are in entertainment business now are the ones giving all the information, and then you realize like, oh, well, those guys are entertainment business as well. They were just giving the script that they were given by someone else to read to us. Yeah. They're just there to entertain us, keep us occupied, you know?
Yeah, but the news channel should be
unbiased.
I think unbiased and something that we can trust. Like I grew up thinking, I mean, obviously naively, that the government really looked out for its citizens. Like the United States was going to look out for its citizens. Like I truly believed, like, you know, they supported their military. I mean, I was a military wife. I really thought we were going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
And now looking at it, I'm like, oh, damn, they don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
They really don't care about you if you're military. You're not making any money. Your benefits suck. They're not helping you afterwards.
Afterwards, there's more people that are privately owned companies and 501c3s and stuff that help out military guys than the military does. Yeah, I don't know how many people I get that are previous servicemen that come into the gym and say, I really need this for my PTSD. Mm-hmm. I really need this to make me feel better, to give me a purpose, to get, you know, because I go to the VA, I say I'm depressed, they just give me more pills.
Yeah. I have never, ever talked to any former military who has had a good experience with the VA, ever.
The only one's like, yeah, they gave me 100%, and that's all I needed. That's all I cared about.
So I've never, I don't know. It's just, it's very different. 18-year-old Sarah was very, like, thinking, I mean, I was looking into going to the military at 18.
Yeah.
I was going to graduate high school and go be a Marine. Thank God I didn't. Can you imagine? Well, I don't think I could have made it. I'm like, no thanks, I'm good. My nail is broken.
Just being honest, she'd have been a drill instructor because she can yell really good.
I am good at yelling, but...
You'd be a DI for sure. So, with the medical thing, big story for the year, Ozempic. Ozempic.
It's sad.
Ozempic is the brand name. The peptide is semaglutide. Mm-hmm. You can get it in the mail.
As a peptide.
In
its real form.
Or you can get it in its patented delivery form that they've got through the pharmaceutical industry. One of the things that made me go, oh man, this stuff has to work, is I read up where banks and stores have now started to petition the FDA and stuff, say, hey, you guys need to think about how this is going to change the economy if the people start losing weight again. They got to make different furniture now. Prior to when people were walking around at 250 being like, I'm at the median weight and stuff. That's crazy. They're getting different furniture. They have to worry about less food production potentially, clothing production, all kinds of stuff. So like, if everyone gets on Ozempic and loses a bunch of weight and can keep it off, big and tall stores go out of business.
Well, they can't keep it off is the thing. So we don't really have to worry about that.
But we don't know, because there's been a lot of peer-reviewed articles and people with like anecdotal evidence say, for me, it lowered my appetite, my stomach shrunk, and I go, okay, so I'm only going to put in good stuff from now on.
But how long, unless you're going, okay, it's easy, right? That's easy. But how long, if you have bad eating habits, I mean, I can talk about this because I have to fight that every day. If you have a bad eating habit and if you're not making, it really has to be the lifestyle change. So maybe use the Ozempic. It's just like when...
Like kickstarting.
Yes, it kickstarts you, right?
Just like when you get the stomach flu.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I just lost 10 pounds. I am not going back.
My weight loss.
Have they done all of the things that have to go on with your mind to change that lifestyle and keep it off? Like, I want to see... success rate long term,
right?
And I don't see like I have had at least 3 people I know, like, oh yeah, my aunt or my mom or whoever did Ozempic, they got off of it and they gained all their weight plus some back.
Yeah, but I wonder if you have that going on in addition to like counseling or therapy or a trainer or nutritionist saying, hey, this is what we're going to be doing right now while we're on it, and then when we get off of it.
But if they were going to invest in a counselor, a trainer, in meal prepping, they wouldn't use the Ozempic. People who use Ozempic are looking for the quick, okay, I lost the weight.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds, because when you walk around town nowadays, Midland, Odessa, this kind of area, I would not say so much like in Austin. Mm-hmm. Austin, everybody's active. You go to Austin, running. People are running and biking, walking their dogs, playing frisbee. Like, they throw it and they catch it themselves. And the dog's like, good job. You know, like, it's a very active place. So I think places like that, when you walk around, when I walk around in Austin, I go, oh God, I need to lose weight. We go in the summertime, dudes are out there running with their shirts off. You're drooling.
I don't. That's not the kind of guy I go after.
Man, that guy's dog is awesome. Like, what are you looking at? Oh, he's got a nice dog. Abs. But then when you're back here, I hate to say it, at 210 pounds, I walk around and I go, man, I'm in great shape. Mm-hmm. And I can grab a handful of this and wiggle it around if I need to. And I feel good where I'm at. That should, I feel like personally, I should not feel like I'm the in shape guy. You know what I mean?
Well, you are in shape.
Well, I'm in shape to defend, get someone off me shape, you know, that kind of thing. But as far as like overall look, like, you know, he's not in bad shape. He's in good shape. But I remember when being over 200 pounds was like, you know, like having a little bit of a gut on you and stuff. It was like, hey, bro, you lose some weight. And now I walk around and I just see dudes that are my age or younger that it makes me feel bad, because I know what it feels like to be that uncomfortable. Yeah. Like, I know what it feels like to be almost 300 pounds. I know what it feels like to be walking around at 280, to be 265, to be stuck at 235, you know, all that stuff. Like, I get it. So I understand the allure of wanting to take something like that to help jumpstart it.
I would love to right now, but
it would almost be so weird now to walk around and, let's say in 18 months, to walk around town and see all the people that were walking like this, like having to lean back because their stomach's overlapping everything else, to then see them wearing normal clothes. Go, oh my gosh, now I'm the outsider a little bit. It'd be kind of weird.
But they're not healthy, I guess, is the thing. Because it's not saying, okay, we're just going to take away the fat. It's taking away all your muscle mass. It's taking away all. So it's doing a lot of damage.
You're losing weight.
Yeah, you're losing weight for sure. But you're not. But it's attacking all the good parts of your body too. It reminds me of chemo. Like, yes, it's doing something that you want, but it's also killing every part of your body. Yeah. I don't know. I've been really heavy. I'm heavy right now. I have a huge issue with not doing work. Do the work. Yeah. I want to go eat the donuts.
Do the work and then maybe look into something. Yeah. But
again, you can still go the good route, like go get the peptide. Yeah. Don't go get the FDA approved, which we know the FDA.
Well, they're just paid by private donors.
Yeah, and none of their stuff is accurate. Go watch our show on Hulu, Dope Sick. We're not sponsored. We should be.
By Hulu?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take that. $5.
Hulu, we really do promote the shit out of Dope Sick. I'm just saying. But I don't know. I have been way heavier than I am now, and I know what it does to your mental health and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, getting up and moving, that's going to help you. Yeah. Having some control over what you're putting in your body helps your mental health. What is going and taking a shot weekly doing for you?
Yeah. If you're doing everything else bad. Yeah. So, yeah, that could definitely be a problem I can see. But I just... there has to be some kind of middle ground for people. And I think maybe if doctors and nutrition stuff are smart about this and they're going to prescribe that, they should give you a questionnaire and say, hey, fill all this stuff out. And a lot of it being mental health. Mm-hmm. Where are you at in your life? What are your eating habits? You know, what things are you doing? Get more outside of the basic, like, do you exercise regularly? Yes.
Yeah, everybody lies on that. I mean, I don't, because I'm like, I actually do work out, so I'm going to tell you, but...
But, I mean, it's a meme, but it's statistically real, and I sent it to my trainer, Jordan Patrick, we've had here on the show. She was like, oh, that's so funny and so typical. It said that we have gotten so sedentary and so away from being physically healthy and active that a 20-minute walk now classified as exercise.
Yeah.
20-minute walk. Come on, man. That should be something for people that are immobile, like very seriously overweight. But we're pushing that for people that are young and healthy and in shape. Yeah, 20 minutes a day. You're good.
Can you imagine if that's all we had to do is walk for 20 minutes?
Maybe if you're having to walk up a mountain.
Yeah, I'm not hiking.
Yeah, I'm not doing
doing
either.
that.
The guy live in West Texas. I gotta
No,
go
thanks.
far to get to one of those.
No, thanks.
So another big thing, again, has to do with divisiveness, is Donald Trump running for president.
Oh, I
again.
love me some DT. You know what I'm saying? Get that man back in office. Listen, his tweets might have been mean, and he might say some off-color shit. But tell me our world, our little United States was not running better.
100%.
Okay. All these people who voted for Biden and talked so much shit to the Trump support, so much.
Yeah.
I mean, physically, verbally, like attacked in my face, like, you're voting for Trump. He said this. He said, grab her by the pussy. I'm like, yeah, and I want to keep my money in my pockets, and I don't want to be at war with anybody.
Yeah.
And also, Biden can't, like, form a sentence. He can't walk across a stage. He should not be running our government.
I think it's, again, it's really telling when they like remove him from a ballot, when they do all this stuff. And the reasons for it all kind of go around, well, he's currently under investigation for this or that or whatever.
What about Hunter Biden?
That didn't count.
Yeah, okay, what about Hillary Clinton?
He was on house arrest or something, and he wasn't on the log, and he ended up getting off of the helicopter over the Christmas break. Early on in the Christmas break, getting off the helicopter. He wasn't supposed to be leaving the state. So they showed him getting off the helicopter and he wasn't on the manifest. Nothing's going to happen.
No, of course not.
So it's just a weird place to be where, you know, my granddad, I don't understand this.
I love your granddad.
I don't understand it, but my mom kind of explained it, so it makes kind of sense. So grew up poor in Colorado City picking cotton.
Yep.
So poor growing up in Colorado City picking cotton that like there's people there that, you know, didn't like the small number of black people that were in the area. He was on the same level, if not a little bit lower, because they're like, why can't you and your family have more money than these people? Mm-hmm. You know, these people. That's pretty shitty. But if you look at like economically and all the things that go with it in that day and age, he was a Democrat.
Yeah.
The way that all the social structure was set up, like he believed Democrat stuff. Like we need the government's help. We need some help. We're poor. We don't have anything.
Yeah.
We're essentially sharecroppers for this guy that owns this land. That's crazy. Growing up with no shoes, picking cotton. You know.
I know, you're poor. He's had a life.
He's had a life, but then he moves forward and becomes like a head guy for Mid-America Pipeline at their home office in Stafford, running the entire Midwest from Canada all the way down through Texas, through Brenham, Texas. And you would think someone who now has moved up from that to corporate and everything else would maybe like, I'm going to go ahead and vote Republican. Still votes Democrat on a very regular basis.
Really, Potus?
He voted for Biden. He didn't vote for Trump. He voted for Biden.
So sad for me for him.
But it's one of those things where people, they get stuck in whatever their ideology is.
Yeah.
And they just keep going that route. And I asked him about, and that'll be something we talk about in just a second, but I asked him about, did you ever have any stories about this? Have you watched on the news? And my grandmother goes, oh, he didn't watch the news. It makes him mad. And I go, what makes him mad? Oh, just all the stuff they say on there about what's going on and all these policies and this money we're giving everybody. I said, well, I'd be mad at too if I voted for him. And he goes, yeah, not happening again. You're like at 90 years old, he's now like, yeah, I messed up.
Yeah.
But that's crazy to think that you can get stuck into, I'm just going to do this because it's what I've done forever, instead of opening your mind up to look at new stuff. People that age that still vote, they don't realize there's a Joe Rogan podcast that has all these guys that you're not hearing about that have information that counter or at least give you something else to look at.
Yeah. Well, think about back to the vaccines. When they all got vaccinated, we gave them so much information and they still chose to go do it.
Oh, they got mad. There was
arguments at the dinner table over it. Not that we were like, don't go do this. We literally were like, hey, be aware. This, and this is being said. And we got some back. I mean, I did with my mom too.
Well, what they said, we go, well, you know, Well, damn it, Bradley. Smallpox vaccination. If people wouldn't have gotten vaccinated for smallpox, all
Oh,
those
I
people
remember
would
this
die.
argument.
Yeah, and I thought about that. I really considered it. And so I started looking stuff up. Again, we can do that now.
Yeah.
We can fact check stuff. I look stuff up. And I want to say that the process to go from discovering the vaccine to testing it out, putting in trials and everything else, and having it now where it got rolled out, 25 years.
Yeah, we talked to him about that. We're like, it went...
Not 6 months.
Yeah, not like there's a testing. If this situation just happened, we don't know. They're telling us like, we don't know what COVID's gonna do. Now there's another one, so maybe we shouldn't just be injecting ourselves.
Yeah,
because they don't
really
even know.
weird.
They can't tell us what we're doing.
And it's again, but it's hard. It's hard to figure out. I think like for people that are in their like late 30s, early 40s, we're in this weird gap. Like I said, we've had a ton of stuff happen in our lifetime. But it feels like all the major stuff that's happened has all been shady.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's been, it's been the Gulf War. It's been going into Afghanistan and 9/11. Essentially, there's a lot of information that shows that wasn't just other people. It was the U.S. involved.
Yeah.
Vaccines, all these different things come up, and you just look at it and go, man, we're just getting lied to all the time. But then you go back, why do people that are a little bit older than us, why do they not see the same things? Because they grew up in a time when, like, the Iran-Contra is going on. I was a little kid during the Reagan administration. I didn't know that was going on. But the Sandinistas and everything, bringing drugs into our country, that was happening with our parents and our grandparents. Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin, that started off of something that we did to start a war.
Yeah.
We did a false flag to do that. The Cuban Missile Crisis, they were talking about blowing up a United States passenger jet so that we could get into a war with Cuba. They put that on the table and JFK goes, maybe not.
Good looking out, JFK.
Let's not do that,
Thanks for that.
But and then what happened to him?
Yeah.
Magic bullet,
Yeah.
It's a really scary time for me as a parent and as someone that has, I've got a lot of young people at the gym, to see all these people, like, going into a world where you cannot trust the person that's running things. Mm-hmm. Local level, state level, national. It's really, really hard because everybody has an agenda and everybody's getting paid except the people that need it the most.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Damn, we really took a left turn on that.
We did.
A right turn? This is a right for me.
Wrong turn, right turn. Oh.
Anyway, yeah.
So the other one, and this is my favorite right now.
Oh, boy.
UFOs.
Oh, I like the UFO talk. We've watched a lot of UFO documentaries this year. Listened to some podcasts on it.
What do you think?
So
What is your big...
Well, obviously they're here. We have the proof.
Yeah, okay. But is that from 1940 whatever through now, is that...
I think it's been happening way longer
Okay,
than
there's cave
1940.
paintings.
Yeah, like...
there's cave paintings about it.
Yeah, I think it's... first of all, I don't know why. I mean, obviously, okay, it makes sense the government didn't want us to know about it because they didn't know about it. Like they didn't know what's the point of this.
There's no answer.
Yeah, it just is. I feel like you would be very naive to think that we are the only people out in this gigantic universe that goes on forever.
But where are those people in the Bible?
Okay, don't get me started on the Bible. Let's go to that topic next. That's my favorite. I think that I don't know. So one theory is that they are, you put this into better terms than I do because I haven't had that much caffeine.
Can you say it? What is it?
So they're like beings from the future and they're kind of
another part of the multiverse, like another dimension.
Right. So they're kind of watching over us.
Like, hey, they're at a critical time.
Yes.
Where they're going to fuck themselves up.
Because it makes sense after watching the one documentary about the nuclear power plant in, was it Japan or Korea?
I believe it was Japan.
Okay, so then all these UFO sightings happen around nuclear power plants, what things were
missile
nuclear
silos.
all those
like
things.
Colorado, Montana area stuff. There's always
right. So it makes sense if they are kind of like, ooh, they're fucking around. We gotta make them come back to us.
Apparently, they were doing a test firing of a ICBM, so an intercontinental ballistic missile, so a nuclear missile. They're doing a test fire of that one. they shot one up, and this thing goes, I think the guy said it, and this is like an Air Force guy. Like he goes, they go 15,000 miles an hour shooting up in the air. They come up and they arc, and then they start going to wherever they're being aimed at. They're doing a test, and they said that a craft, a ball of light, followed it and hit it with some kind of beam or something, and it completely deactivated all their stuff on it. And it was just dead in the water.
Well, yeah, they've done that at different sites that hold nuclear bombs. So everything will go dead. They have no power. I don't know. I feel like if they were a threat to us, we would have already been, things have already happened. You know?
I think my thing with it is,
they have long fingers. I wonder if they're fun to play with. I'm just kidding.
I think there's been a lot of talk, like Tucker Carlson that got fired for whatever, let go from his Fox thing. Now he's doing his own show. He doesn't have a corporation telling him who he can and cannot interview and everything now. So he's been bringing on a lot of people with the UFO stuff.
Cool.
Reputable people. You don't get to be a colonel in the Air Force if you're just bullshitting, if you're not reliable with what you're saying. You're in charge of a lot of lives and making a lot of big decisions and executing those decisions exactly how you should, be able to make the right judgment call when needed. And these people are saying, hey, like, what we know about this behind closed doors that I've heard that other people have reported is pretty dark stuff.
Really?
That the government, maybe the reason they're not saying anything isn't that they don't know anything, so they're stupid and in the dark and like, oh, it's a weather balloon. What if this is going to destroy, the reason they're keeping it so quiet, is going to destroy everybody's belief systems? Because you've got Christians.
Yeah, who don't believe.
It's Jesus, God and Jesus. Jews, Jesus, Abraham, Joseph, or not Jesus, but Jesus was a prophet, I guess, with Jews. Muhammad with Islam. You've got Buddhists and all these different people in different religions and belief systems that's their moral compass in life.
Oh, and without a moral compass, if that goes away, what's going to happen?
Well, what you mean? I'm not going to go to heaven and have streets of gold and all this different stuff and getting to praise the Lord all day long? Yeah, I don't know about that one, but I think that would maybe tear society down a lot. And that would be scary. So then you would have civil unrest. You would have people like, I'll just kill that guy. I'm not going to go to heaven if I don't, or don't, whatever. I don't like my neighbor. Time to whack him. That's really scary to think about, I guess.
No, that's a really good way that's a really interesting. Now I want to listen to his podcast.
But you think about that. That's a very scary thing to say. Like, every single civilization has shown through cave paintings, through writings, whatever, there's these winged creatures with all these eyes.
They're so beautiful.
Just all this different stuff about what an angel looks like.
Yeah.
And not the
angels we see on the top of the tree.
It's not buff Fabio Jesus. It's
not. Why did
stuff.
they make him so buff?
Well, I mean, back in the day, he was a carpenter. And he was building stuff, and he's active, right? Not the 20 minutes a day of walking. It was like all day you want to walk. But I just think it would really tear down a lot of people's belief systems and make them go like, oh my God, I can't even say that anymore.
Yeah, like there is no God.
Oh, my intergalactic caretakers.
That's a solid point. That's a good way of thinking about that. I guess because I don't have that issue. That didn't dawn on me because I don't have, I don't follow one faith.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
But it's weird to think about. And there's also been people saying like, I don't know if it's darker or whatever, but they're like, oh, we're just a planet that's here for farming. I mean, they need something with us to develop us to do something. I know Rogan talked about, what if our only job, because humans are uniquely suited to always create bigger and better things. There's a part of us always wants more better. Yeah. So that drives creation and innovation. And so what if we're supposed to make AI for the aliens? or for another AI system, and that they're just AI people, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So they're just growing that consciousness to get it out of us and then take it or whatever.
Interesting.
People have said, what if our bodies are harvested for our souls to go inhabit an alien body or something? It's crazy stuff.
I hope my next body is fucking cool. Like, I want to be 4'10". But I'm blind. I can't see shit. Can you hook a sister
big
up?
eyes. The big eyes.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine the glasses on those things?
Just goggles, straight up space goggles.
No, that was a good. I like the alien thing. What was the movie we watched that was so
Phenomenon?
Was that the one?
Phenomenon
where
or
there's
First Contact?
no talking?
Oh, you're talking about the movie that was on Hulu or something.
Joe Rogan told us to watch it. He literally told us for his podcast.
For his podcast, he told us specifically. I will figure out what it is. I will post it on this stuff whenever I go as a movie recommendation.
Okay, so that was a cool. It was very interesting. I wish they would have given some more backstory on what happened to Homegirl and her mom. But anyway, it was a friend. She killed her friend. Okay, so anyway, it was interesting because there was no dialogue. You were like, why is it so quiet?
Yeah.
But the ending.
When they saw what her life was and how it hurt her and everything else, they're like, okay, so we're just gonna give you this.
Yeah,
back.
they like gave her a free pass, and then she was like had a group.
Crazy stuff.
That was a cool take on that movie, or on that whole thing, because The Fourth Kind really still fucks with my head. If I watch it, I will be up every night for at least a month. It never fails. I've done that since I lived in Vegas. I will watch it like once a year, and then it fucks with me for about a month.
Ugh.
The same with exorcism movies.
Yeah, I get it. I think we're really in a interesting time. I wouldn't say like fun.
This is so cool. It's not.
But it can really like get at you and make you feel kind of stressed out and anxious if you really start thinking about stuff. But I think more so if you are hardcore like evangelical Christian or something like that. I think
would stress me out just being that.
I think that might cause you to have more anxiety or take more of a stance of like, this isn't happening, this isn't real. So then you're just stuck being naive.
Yeah.
That
religion's a hard topic.
Yeah. Some people think there weren't dinosaurs.
I know.
Aww. Bless their hearts.
Sweet thing.
Liquid death cans are satanic. I'm like, no, they're really cool. The boxes are cool. The bottom's really cool.
Look, that's just, we like the art.
I want to be sponsored by Liquid Death. Who's that?
We are art connoisseurs, and it's the Liquid Death bottle.
So,
I have a runny nose. Okay.
Less serious stuff. Big story for the year. Of all people to be an author, a best-selling author, Britney Spears biography.
Okay, but we listened to it. Well, you kind of did. I listened to it. Here's the thing. I grew up with Britney Spears. I remember buying her first album when I was in junior high. I did not end up like a Backstreet Boy NSYNC girl. In fact, I had that one album. I never bought another. I moved on to the metal. But we've all watched her life unfold. Yeah. I mean, I have sent you her little Instagram videos and been like, what the fuck is she doing?
They're the best. They are the best.
But now, I don't know if you've noticed, since reading the book, I haven't done that. Or listening to the book. Videos? Yeah. I am sad for her. Who knows if what she wrote, I mean, this is her perspective.
Right. The lens she sees through.
Right. But looking at how she was treated by paparazzi, all these things, I'm like, man, this girl has she definitely has PTSD.
Yeah.
She really needed somebody to take her to therapy and like help her work through it.
Didn't happen. And then and she talks about her Instagram videos and her dancing and all. Listen, it's wild. It's crazy. She should probably not. She should reel it in a little bit because everybody thinks she's crazy. Yeah.
But that was her. That is her way of taking back her power and her control over her body. So she likes to do it. And I am not one to hate on that. If that makes you feel good, girl, you go do you do.
Well, I'm not. I wasn't hating on it either, but
I do think she looks crazy.
It's odd. The knife thing was the best. That was the peak.
Yeah. I mean, I think
like a sexy hibachi chef.
She's not. I don't feel like she looks very sexy anymore.
Well, I mean, sexy hibachi chef in Odessa. I don't know.
Like she used to work at the Hooters. That was interesting. I think we all, this generation, like we grew up with her.
Yeah.
you know, and we've seen her rise and we've seen her fall. And what made her so different from like the Christina Aguilera's, you know, everybody who was coming up in that time.
There was Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera,
Jessica Simpson,
Mandy Moore.
But none of them were Britney Spears. Christina Aguilera, in my opinion, has the better voice.
Okay.
But she was still not Britney Spears level. Britney Spears was like the it girl.
Yeah.
And then she talks about, you know, just being used for her body. You know, like they automatically sexualized her.
Yeah. Oh, from
and so you have grown
the very
men.
first video.
Yeah, you have grown men looking at a 15-year-old who's you know she has the I don't remember
She had the white. I remember I was in high school. She had the white shirt knotted up
baby
right
one
here,
more time, the little skirt,
the little pleated mini skirt thing, high socks.
This is where his fetish for the high socks comes from. I get it now. Okay. No, I mean, but she was on the cover of a magazine in like some skimpy little, like I think bra and panties or something similar.
Yeah.
And she was holding a Teletubby.
It's weird.
Right?
It's weird. But is it that weird when you hear about nowadays, like you hear all these guys like the Harvey Weinsteins and the
that grosses me
Epsteins
out.
and the whatever Steins, all that stuff, like that's just it's so weird that's embedded in our culture like that.
But it has been for ages. Yeah. I'm from a family where pedophilia is a thing.
Oof.
Like it is deep embedded in where I'm from. I had to leave all of that.
Yeah.
You know, you have to break away from that or you risk your kid going to that.
Just cycles forever.
Right.
No, it's a weird thing. You know, I'm like I listened to a lot of that, the book. It was you can tell she just dictated to somebody and they were like, all right, whatever, because it was all over the place.
It was a little all over the place. It wasn't well written, but she's not an author.
Yeah.
You know?
At least she put something out there. That's cool.
I mean, her timing too, with the whole Justin Timberlake thing, like get him, girl. But I love a good like the girl comes back and wins thing.
It's fair.
Like look at the scary movies I like.
This is true. Yeah, you're right. I think this is. I mean, it's definitely eye opening to get that other perspective for the people like myself that go, man, that girl took way too much drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
She's crazy. And then you were like, oh no, she's
a victim.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
But you don't get that way.
Yeah.
You don't go from seeming like you're pretty stable to then seeming like you're completely off the deep end without there being some things happening.
Yeah. I mean, when she talks about her kids and what her ex did, taking her kids as a mother, I wouldn't have, I don't know how she made it.
Yeah.
I would have lost my shit. I would have ended up in a place like her. You know?
So looking forward, 2024.
Yeah. What do we have? What's coming next year? Because this year was rough.
There's definitely going to be if anybody besides Trump gets elected, there's definitely be a big world war for sure. That's definitely going to happen.
Y'all vote right.
Correctly or right?
Anyway, just vote.
Yeah. When it comes to resolutions,
I don't do resolutions. I don't believe in them.
Why not?
I think you can set a goal or a resolution at any point. You don't have to wait for New Year's. I think New Year's resolutions are great, ideally. I would love to do these 5 things.
Yeah.
I had a lot of goals this year. None of them happened. Not a single one. So should I feel like I failed this year?
No, you made it through this year.
Right. But that's not typically, like if you have a goal, I'm going to lose 10 pounds by February 1st, and you don't lose those 10 pounds.
Then you completely drop everything and you
Correct.
stop.
And I don't agree with let's new year, new me. No, it's a new year. Let's continue growing. Like it doesn't have to be a resolution. You don't have to have a major goal. Just say, you know what? I didn't focus enough on working out last year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make sure I do that this year. I think it sets you up for failure. Not that goals aren't a good thing, but like realistically.
They statistically they say like if you set a New Year's resolution, most of the time, I guess the top 3 are all having to do with personal health.
Yeah.
So however way you want to word, like lose weight, gain whatever amount of muscle, run a 5K, run a 10K, run a marathon, get involved in lifting, whatever. There's the top 3 are always revolving around health.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are usually financial. Health, financial, family.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, family comes last.
That's the lists. I just read the lists. But looking at those things, they say that the way that people set a resolution, which is, I'm going to lose 15 pounds this month.
You're not going to lose 50 pounds.
You're not going to lose 15 pounds. And when you don't lose 15 pounds, you won't try, even though you lost 7, you won't continue that. And then you just put on the rest of the weight.
Yeah.
Put it back. So kind of the tips that I see a lot of people putting out there is like, this is psychologists and counselors and nutritionists and people that really understand what goes in behind these choices. Say, set the smallest goals you can and set them all the time throughout your process. If your New Year's resolution is, I want to lose weight, it's a very broad term. Narrow that down. I want to lose 15 pounds. Okay. But if you set that February 1st date on it, it's not going to happen. Narrow that down. I want to work on losing 2 or 3 pounds this month. You know, I want to work on this. I want to work on eliminating this type of food past 6 p.m. Just little things that you can do that you have more control over, that you can see results in. And then when you do those things that are smaller, that are manageable, and you see a result, you feel like you can broaden that spectrum up. Okay, I'm going to eliminate this a little bit. I want to work out an extra session for 20 minutes, go walk, you know, whatever that is. And then you have more success.
Yeah.
The first 3 months are going to be the hardest on any of this stuff.
Yeah, you don't have it in a routine. First of all the gyms are going to be full.
Yeah.
Which is great for us, but that's also like, I have to go to the gym. It's busy. The park couldn't find parking. So now you have 42 excuses not to get your shit done. There's no, like...
I want someone to go with me.
Yeah.
And what happens when that person's not motivated?
Listen, I had an accountability buddy, and my accountability buddy, we like had said, okay, we're going to work out 5 days a week. First freaking day, they didn't go work out. I'm like, really?
Really?
Yeah, it was really lame. Second day, I went and did my workout. They didn't show up. So you can't rely on your accountability.
I have people all the time that come
happens.
into the gym. They're like, hey, I want to join. My friend wants to join too. Or I want to get started, but I'm going to wait for my friend. And I tell them, I go, listen.
Don't wait for your friend. Just go.
Don't. I've said like young dudes. I'm like, hey, man, you got a girlfriend? Yeah. Like, you're trying to like look good with your clothes off, lose some weight, do some stuff. Yeah. You waiting for your friend to walk in too? No. Okay. It's not their goal. It's not their issue. Like, you want this. You're hoping they want this. They're telling you they want it.
Yeah.
But you're just like, I hope they want to be my friend while I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
Because it's scary to do it on my own. But if you do it on your own, that's all the reward comes from that. You know? Like that. That's why I like, for workouts, if you need somebody, that's why I like jiu-jitsu. You have a built-in partner.
Yeah, you're going to have somebody
I got
there.
a partner right now.
Yeah.
You know, going to like a group fitness class, going to spin. There's going to be people in there, and they all have the same goal as you. They're not waiting on the person outside to maybe want to kind of try it out.
Yeah.
And see if it's something they want to do. These people are committed to it.
But it is scary to walk into anything by yourself, whether it be a gym, jiu-jitsu, spin, whatever it is. Going into a place where you feel you don't know where everything is, you don't know the people there, you don't know the vibe. That's a lot. That's very overwhelming.
Yeah. What do you think would be helpful for people for those things?
Man, I don't know, because I'm not doing jiu-jitsu.
No, but for like walking, like someone wants to walk into the Y or Hit for Fit, or join a CrossFit gym, or join Cycle Bar or whatever.
Yeah, I think just do it. We have to do every day. You do scary shit.
Yeah,
every day. If you're a grown up, you do something scary every day. It's driving down the street.
If you want to think
leaving
about
your
it,
kid.
what do we talk? We've been talking about aliens coming here. The government hates us. They're against us. They want to keep us down. There's an imminent threat of war all the time.
Yeah.
You can't trust anybody to give you the right healthcare advice. You're worried about going in and making yourself better on your own time?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I mean, but it is, I know, I was intimidated to go into Cycle Bar.
Right.
So but I did, and now I love it.
Explain that real quick. You walked in, want to make a change, do something physically active, do something for you. That's 45 minutes to an hour that you don't have to deal with anything else. You don't have to have your phone. You don't have to listen to your kids. You don't have to listen to your husband. Nothing. It's just you and an instructor a room full of supportive people and good music.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But that's for me. Like, some people don't like that. I like to go lift.
But for you, you went in there and you went to the very back row.
Oh, yeah. I went and
didn't
hid
make a peep.
in the back corner, back row. I didn't talk to anybody for like a solid year.
Yeah.
And I didn't do good. There's gear, there's resistance.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't go over a 3, which is typically like where you start to warm up.
Right.
I couldn't stand to get out of the saddle, because we sit and we stand and we sit and we stand.
Right.
Yeah, it was bad. I was bad. I didn't know what the hell anybody was doing, but I knew I liked being in there.
Right.
And it was a good workout because I was dying. I liked being in there. And then the instructors all had super motivational, good things to say. And even if they weren't talking a lot, a joke was made, or you see somebody there who's older than you, bigger than you. And then you also see the people who are super in shape, and you're like, look at this whole eclectic group of people.
Yeah.
There's a spot for everybody in here. I don't like to go to the gym because you will see the bodybuilders and the little gym bunnies who only care about how they look.
They lift and they stand in front of the mirror and they do this.
Yeah. Which, okay, listen, if you're prepping for a competition, I would want to see that too, right?
So Jordan says, hey, I need you to start taking videos and pictures of yourself before workouts, after workouts, during workouts and stuff. She said, it's good for you. That's one thing I have heard of, and I don't do it.
You can see your form.
I feel outside of seeing your form, if you take a picture of yourself after you work out, it is scientifically proven that you're something like 200% more likely to continue with your workout program because you're showing, this is how I feel, this is what I accomplished.
Yeah.
This is what I just did.
Yeah.
And you're showing other people.
There's your accountability right there.
You're showing yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't do that because honestly, I'm like, how do I not look like an idiot taking a picture of myself for the mirror? And I want to ask the 30 other people that do it every single day, how do you not look stupid? How do you not feel stupid doing this? Because I do.
But that's a you thing.
100%.
I feel good. Listen, if it makes you feel good, take a freaking picture of it.
I just got to figure out how do you do the angles?
Yeah, you got to do the angles. The angles are a whole thing. I think, I love when I see our writers come in and they're taking a picture before class.
It's cool.
Because they're stoked to be there.
Yeah.
And who cares if you're showing off your workout? The only people it pisses off are people who are not doing anything.
Yeah.
Or are not doing good enough, or feel like shit about themselves. So there's nothing positive. That's a negative person. You don't need that.
It's just deflecting.
Yeah. So the people who, if you post a workout video or a selfie, and the people who like that, that's your crew.
Again, another former guest we've had that was real in touch with how they felt about that kind of stuff. Sweet Pea was on here.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, people talk crap to me all the time and tell me I look horrible. And you and I both know that she knows. That's not right. That's not true.
Yeah.
But they're seeing somebody do something they want to do, and they just don't have the willpower, the discipline, whatever, to do it. And so it's easier for them to say, well, you look like crap. Stupid. You look like a slut, whatever. Well, or they're doing yoga 6-7 hours a week and lifting weights and got a personal trainer, eating right and all that stuff.
Because it's not easy. I think that's the other thing. It's not easy to go do the workout.
No.
There's 900 things you could be doing other than that, like sitting on the couch.
The easiest thing you can do is, honestly, the workout's not that hard. I don't think the workouts are hard. I think they're easy, but what's easier is to then stuff your face with crap as soon as you get done. Because you're like, oh, I just worked out. I worked out hard. I earned this.
Yeah. We shouldn't say I earned it. Everybody deserves to eat. We should all be eating.
Yeah.
That's one thing as a fitness instructor. So in my little community, obviously on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I follow a lot of other instructors, coaches, not just for spin, but for all different walks of life. And now is not the time to say, I have to work out so I can eat this.
I got to earn this food.
We're not earning anything to eat. We're not here to look better. That's a plus if it happens.
Feel better.
It should be a hey, we're doing something good for us.
Yeah.
So I think that's something, if you are in the fitness community, especially as a coach or a leader or even if you go with a group of people, don't be that person who's we We just worked out so we earn these cheese fries. If you want the cheese fries, go get the cheese fries, but maybe don't eat the whole thing.
And understand, like, I'm gonna hate myself later.
Yeah.
But these look really good.
Right. I don't know. That has been a huge mindset change for me because I grew up thinking food was the enemy. And you have to do stuff to earn food.
So then you had to earn it and then or sneak it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't earn this today, so I'm gonna go get it. I'm
gonna hide it.
Yeah.
Like even with my eating disorder at one point last year, in 2022 in like July, something happened and I was binging pretty bad. I don't even think you knew I was binging.
You told me
after the
2 weeks after you had done it for like 2 weeks that you were like, yeah.
No, it was longer than that.
Well, 2 weeks after is when you told me. That's all I know. But I remember you going, yeah, so I just been eating a bunch of burritos and stuff at Taco Villa and crumpling out, throw away. I've been stopping at Taco Bell, crumpling out, throw away, whatever.
Yeah, I was like going, like in between coming to see you at the, like from work to the gym.
Stop and get a snack.
I'd stop and get a burrito and eat a burrito really fast, which your girl can eat. And then I'd make sure to stop and throw it away. And then I'd go home and eat dinner.
Yeah.
Like I was binging bad. That wasn't even the worst binge I've ever had. But binging, and then I was like hiding it, and then I was like, "Fuck!" Like I don't hide anything from you. So I was so ashamed to come tell you that.
I appreciated you doing that. I think right now, like the biggest thing for me that I've learned a lot over this last year, and it just translates to everything, is you have to find a way to communicate stuff, and it is the most difficult thing to do because the only thing that sounds good to people is their own voice and their own opinion.
Yeah.
Their own perspective.
Well, also being vulnerable. When you communicate, you're vulnerable. And now you're giving, hey, I'm giving you this thing that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Or makes me sad or makes me nervous or I'm embarrassed. And I'm going to share that with you.
Yeah.
And then I give you this power to use it against me.
Or to beat myself up, like use it against myself.
Yeah.
And you don't want me to feel bad. You already feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a weird thing, but again, I think every single time you've been on, we've talked about therapy is important, guys.
Dude, go to fucking therapy.
Yeah. Shoot, I'll just shameless plug right now. I'm not a therapist, but a good plug would be Rising Sun Therapy off Andrews Highway. It's that one building that's in between the car wash and then before you get to Discount Tire or whatever, that office building.
Yep, she's amazing.
Therapist there, Heather Gonzalez, like she's awesome. She started her new practice over there. There's all kinds of resources for you guys. So I would say, if anything, moving into 2024, if people want to lose weight, work on their relationship, work on themselves, whatever,
go to therapy.
Like that the resolution. Here's an easy small goal: do therapy once a month. If you get some kind of something out of it, do it twice, 3 times, and then all of a sudden you're going every week.
Yeah.
You're working on yourself, and these problems start hitting you harder because you have to face them. But it's better to face it now and move forward to happiness and a good life, being healthy, instead of facing it down the road and everything just gets worse and worse and you're too old to make any kind of changes.
I mean, think about I know for me, therapy is, I hate going because now we're going to have to talk about all the stuff I don't want to talk about.
Right.
But looking back, I mean, I've done therapy off and on since I was in elementary school. And then I did it obviously with my 2 divorces, but we were focused on you just got out of an abusive marriage. So now how do we heal from that? But I never dealt with stuff that had happened to me as a child or
just whatever's going on right now.
Yeah, it was just okay, which did help because obviously I was able to cope and you learn things from that. But really diving into this is why I do this, because this happened to me as a kid. And now let me heal from that. And now all these other little things in your life start to get better. And it helps how if you're a mom or dad, you love your kids, you do anything for them, right? But have you gone and healed yourself? Because if you're not healing yourself, you're taking that and you are affecting your kid in the way that you approach them, in the way that you view life, in the way that you... Maybe, your parent yelled at you, so now you don't ever yell and you don't ever discipline and you don't ever, there are 2 drastic sides. You may think my parent was really harsh on me. They were really strict. That did me so bad. So now I don't ever give my kid rules. They kind of run the show. That's not good for your kid either.
No.
So you got to have like that. I mean, this year I've done so much therapy, and I don't like it any time I go.
Yeah.
But if I don't have it, I don't think I could have made it.
Yeah, I agree. Same thing with myself. So I think 2024 for like resolutions, if people can just start looking at how can I make myself better on the inside first before trying to tackle all these outside things and go to the gym this many times and do this and be more active here and there and with work and if you work on yourself, it's going to affect all those other things in a positive way.
Yeah. Man, you might go to therapy and be like, damn, I got to work this out. And then you go to the gym. Therapy days, I always work out.
Yeah. It's a good time. So, resolution or a revolution?
Yes, we're starting a revolution.
Viva la revolution.
No, I mean, I have small goals. Like, I put everything on hold as far as like getting my nutritionist license, all that stuff. So I would like to kind of step back into that and see what I can do. I don't know if that's going to happen right away. Like, I don't know if I'm ready yet, but, just continue therapy. I would love to continue to grow as an instructor.
More going and working with other instructors, getting more
like
insights
going,
from people.
you know, when we go out of town, I do need to, when we go out of town, I'm like, I don't want to go work out. I'm
you're gonna
tired.
start taking your stuff
I'm
with
going to
you and
try
doing
to
it.
make myself do it. You know, just,
Yeah.
I also am trying, I think it's helped a lot this year, just with everything that's happened. Not everything's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's really not.
You've lived life and death.
Yeah. Like, if the house is dirty, I'm like, oh, the house is going to be dirty tomorrow too. You know, like,
Yeah.
I would much rather spend the time with your family and your kids. Like, I would normally have my kid in daycare this week. Mm-hmm. I've never not had my kids in daycare.
You haven't been in daycare for the whole break.
if there's a break, you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
So take them. And then I would be off and I would be cleaning or doing whatever, or sleeping. And this time I have chosen not to do that.
Yeah.
And there have been times I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? But, you know, I know that means those are the little things. Like, we played a stupid board game
Yeah.
multiple times. And he loves it. And we're going to do it again.
Yeah.
You know, even if I don't love it. But that's like the big things for me.
It's good.
Stop stressing the small stuff. Stop stressing shit that's not in your control. I can't control, like, listen, if the aliens come, they're coming. If we go to war, we're going to war.
Yeah.
Neither of us have, like, we have nothing. We cannot stop that. So what can I do to keep my little family, my little safe place good?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also stop accepting shit from people.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Like, that's one of my goals. I'm pretty outspoken anyway, and if I don't like what you're doing, I'll tell you. I know it's weird. It's so hard to believe. And then I started a lot in 2023 being like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
You said something that's bullshit. I'm not, you know, not you, but whoever.
Probably me, though.
A lot. Yeah, definitely you. I've had people very close to both of us, well, very close to you, that I have had to say, your behavior was unacceptable. You are no longer allowed in my life until you make some changes.
Yeah.
And I've stuck by that, even if I think it probably has put you in a weird spot.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to do that because what was done was absolutely in no way, shape, or form anything I will ever allow to be done again.
Yeah. But also, like, there also is a side of that is, like what you said, like, I'm sure that's putting you in a bad spot or whatever, but, like, I have to look at, as a partner, as a husband, I have to look at, like, why does she not want this? Because it's not good for her.
But it's also not good. I was so upset by what happened because of you.
No, I get that.
Like, the treatment towards my husband.
Yeah.
And then, like, the treatment towards me.
Yeah.
It was twofold. And so now I'm not supporting. You didn't support my husband, and you definitely fucked me over. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, but the thing with that is like, some people, like myself, who had spent a very large portion of their life trying to be people pleasers and letting people walk over. I paid a guy's green card.
I know.
You know, and
he,
you know, like,
did you so dirty.
like I've done a lot of stuff for people, and like, I just want this person to like me. I just want them to like me. Let me help everybody else out that they bring in too. Like, let me help all of them out. Let me destroy my life savings. Let me do all this stuff and never gripe about it. It's not good.
No.
You know? And so for someone like me that is a people pleaser to have someone like you that's saying, this is not going to be in my life anymore or whatever, like it does make me go, hey man, why is this person that I love and trust so much putting their foot down saying this is not right? I can either, she's wrong. I'm going to invite them over. You know,
that would
whatever.
be really bad.
It'd be really bad.
That'd be so bad.
Or I can look at it for what it is. And again, like, I don't think if you're not communicating, if you're not going to therapy, or if you're not just on the path of, I want to make my life better, that you can't see something like that go on, be aware of it, and ignore it.
Yeah.
You know, there's reasons behind people doing things. And so you have to pay attention to that. So I think you doing all that stuff was really, it wasn't just good for you. And people can learn like, oh, that's good for me. Cool. But it's also probably good for everybody in your little unit too.
Yeah, I mean, not even that was a big one.
Yeah.
Anytime family is involved, that's a big thing. But like on a smaller scale, you know, I work for a big corporation, and I have had to say, I can't take on. I'm doing my job, and I'm covering for somebody else, and now you're asking me to do another project. I can't do it, and I won't. If I do, here are my parameters. I won't be working after hours. Period.
Yeah.
Period. And they've been really respectful, but that job was fine when I was gone for 2 months.
Yeah.
Everybody handled.
Everything was taken care of.
You know,
huh?
I came back, I stepped right back into my role. What wasn't fine after those 2 months was my family.
Yeah.
You know, I have a kid who, when I leave town, thinks I'm never coming back.
Yeah,
or if I go to the doctor.
Yeah, we have to be very, very specific. I'm going to go to the vital care and get a shot and get some medicine. Same thing you did for your ears the other day.
Yeah.
I'm going to go do that. Because when you when you say doctor, he's like, when are we coming back? What's happening? Can I go?
Is it the heart doctor? I'm going with you. Yeah. So that job, they didn't. You know how many times I got checked on? Maybe 3. Yeah. Maybe. So boundaries are so big.
Yeah.
Like people being, I lost a lot of friends this year because I refused to say, yeah, what they did that was lame, but I'm going to support it. I don't support if you're doing shady shit.
Yeah.
You don't try to be this like upstanding citizen, Christian life, whatever, and then also at the same time try to destroy other people, steal from them.
Yeah.
That's a boundary. I'm not willing to have you.
No business out there run by anybody should sit there and say, I want the other businesses to shut down because we're so awesome.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Why is it so big in the fitness community?
I don't know. It's weird.
It's big with jiu-jitsu. You hear so much shit talking. It makes me so mad.
I want more jiu-jitsu schools. I just saw there's one opening up, another one locally. Here's my thing. There should be a jiu-jitsu studio on every major city block in Midland, Odessa, Big Spring, Andrews, Dallas and Austin. They got it. You know, like Houston, they got it.
We can go there and see 22.
You know, they're big, but there should be those places everywhere because it's such a good thing for people to have in their life. Yeah. It checks so many boxes. But I don't want there to be less. I want there to be more. How about this? If there's more, make sure they're safe sport certified. Mm-hmm. Every single person that is around a kid or a teenager, and even adults, recognize what an outcry is. Recognize what is appropriate and inappropriate for you as a coach.
What is grooming?
For you as a coach, for you as a training partner, to watch other people doing stuff, to see how they interact. Get all your coaches certified in that stuff. Get all your coaches, just like you would do for CPR, first aid. You don't want to be liable for that. I definitely don't want to be liable for something happening to a child or a female or
even a man.
Dude, whoever.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be put in that situation.
Yeah.
Their parents to be put in that situation. Their whole family to be in that situation. The gym, everything. So safe sport's huge. Be CPR, first aid certified. Doing continuing education. Do you go somewhere else and train too and pick the brains of other people or bring other people in? You know, do you walk around and say, don't go these other places and trash talk people? Do you openly say, well, I wish we were the only show in town, or we're going to put everybody else out of business? Or you see your coworkers, if you work at one of those places, and somebody that runs whatever and says that behind closed doors with no students, you should be like, oh, this person's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't agree with that in any sport, any type. I don't care what it is. You don't need to do that. And if you do feel the need to talk that much shit, you ain't shit, boo.
Well, it just shows that, like, all you really care about is money then.
Right.
You don't care about reaching all different people.
And if we are coaches, true coaches, and we truly care about our people, right? Then whether they go to our school, our gym, or to another, as long as it's giving them what they need mentally and physically and spiritually, maybe, we should be supportive.
Yeah.
As long as they're getting what they need to feel better and be better and do better. And if you claim that that's what you care about and that's why you became a coach and that's why you love the sport or the workout or whatever, then you cannot talk shit about somebody else going to another place.
Yeah.
And we should be able to cross-train. Give me a break.
I have people that, hey, can I wear my non-white gi at your gym? Like, yeah, I've got tie-dye and khaki and, can I wear my patch from a school? Yeah, I got a patch from a school in Oklahoma. I got a patch from a school in Houston. It is what it is.
I think they gotten away from being a coach and why are you doing what you're doing? If it's to make money, then you're doing everything right. You're down talking everybody else. You're making everybody at another gym or place feel you're not making them feel less than. We really think that you are less than. Yeah. But you're trying to make somebody feel less than.
I think it's maybe the optimistic side of me goes, oh, it's just a marketing thing. They're trying to be exclusive. They're trying to, whatever. But then you have to take a step back and go, there's so many different ways you could do that.
Yeah.
Without having to tear other people down,
Yeah.
and I'll be the first one to say, like, I have talked crap about certain instructors. I haven't talked crap openly about any instructor that's in town right now. I have about instructors that have left that were like, a guy that was, he went to jail for killing a toddler.
Yeah, we should talk shit about that guy for sure.
That guy probably shouldn't be teaching self-defense. There's a guy that was it's a registered sex offender that was teaching taekwondo and stuff at a gym and at Gold's back in the day and stuff. Like, that guy probably shouldn't be teaching
anybody
self-defense, But everybody else, they find their lane, they find how they want to operate. And if they want to operate like that, where it's like, it's all us or it's nobody and everybody else is garbage, like Globo Gym versus Average Joe's. That's cool. It is what it is. We
Average
saw how
Joe's
that turned
won
out.
in the end.
They had more fun.
Yeah, they did.
They had more fun.
And their people were better.
Yeah,
they cared about each other. And really, that's what it should be about.
I think for New Year's resolutions, like the side of it that people are wanting getting better health and everything, I think everything you said was spot on. Like attainable goals, get yourself right. Do things for you. And I think for the people that are on the other side of that, like myself and you that are actually in charge of other people and all their goals, the biggest thing is to be supportive. Yeah. And if they're not finding the groove at your place, I let everybody know when they walk in. If you don't like the vibe here, but you like training, talk to me. Ask me a question. Tell me what it is that's missing. And it might be that you just need a little more time because you're uncomfortable, or it might be you need to go somewhere else. Maybe you need to go to Vagabond, or you need to go to Rough House, or you need to, you live halfway in between. Go to Big Spring, go to Warlord, or whatever. There's places you can go. And I think the biggest thing is for people to feel like they can approach you because you're not the guy that's saying, if you're not here, everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
So then you're not approachable. Because there's no other choice. So I think leaving people, like, as soon as you interact with them, that day one person, they come in and say, listen, I've been fortunate enough to do this for 25 years here. Everybody that owns a gym, I've coached them or employed them or trained with them. You're going to be fine. So let's take the stress out. This doesn't have to be your only visit.
Right.
And then if they stay, that's awesome. And if they go, at least they knew, like, dang, this person welcomed me to leave, which means they will welcome me to come back.
Yeah. And we've had a lot of people come back.
Yeah. It's fun.
It's very interesting.
So 2024, it's on us.
Here we go. Let's do the things.
More podcast stuff. More stuff with you and me.
Yeah, I have some podcast ideas. So we're in. I'll let my people know, and my people will tell your people.
Cool. Well, you're my people, so okay. I better find out soon.
We'll just talk about afterwards.
I love you.
Love you too.
Let's have a good year.
Let's do it.
It's time.